This is a striking piece of design aesthetics. This is a practice tool designed to help you sound your absolute best. This is a production tool to give your sounds life and space. This is a sonic paintbrush with an endless array of colors. This is a lot of things, but it isn't a pedal. This is a Darkglass element. So the first question you're probably asking is the same one that I asked, which is, what exactly am I looking at? It's actually two things. The element is actually a combination of a deep and flexible headphone amplifier combined with a cabinet simulator. If you are unfamiliar with cabinet simulators, or cab sims, they're more or less exactly what they sound like. They simulate a speaker cabinet. Cab sims use something called an impulse response that measures how a signal is affected when it passes through a specific speaker cabinet and is captured by a specific microphone. Now, these are two pieces of gear that most of us are probably familiar with, but I know that I have never seen them combined into one device like this. Okay, so we're gonna need to take a tour around this thing because it actually does bear a little bit of explaining. So the most striking part of the element visually is certainly these three light-up, touch-sensitive sliders that adorn the front. On the left and right side, we have individual volume controls for the two headphone outs, while the middle slider gives you control over the balance between your backing tracks and your live sound. Up here at the top, you can see the two headphone outs as well as an input for 9 to 12 volt DC power. On the left side, you have an XLR out and a mysterious looking little window that is kind of the secret of why the headphone amp and cabinet simulator work so well together in this device. Once the element is connected to your phone through Bluetooth, it really starts to come alive. Changing your impulse responses is as easy as selecting which slot you'd like to change and then scrolling through either the dozens of impulse responses that come already loaded in the Darkglass suite or uploading your own. A feature that I really like about the Darkglass suite is the ability to tap on any of these presets and it will show you what cabinet was used and even the microphone that they used to capture the impulse response. On top of doing the easiest cabinet and microphone shopping you'll ever do in your life, at this point the element can also be selected as an audio output of your phone so you can stream your play-along tracks right to it. Over here on the right side, you have 1/4-inch ins and outs. Next to that, you have a 3-position slider that controls your input gain. Next to that is an 1/8-inch auxiliary in that you can either use for backing tracks or you can actually plug a second instrument into that as long as you have an adapter. Next to that is a USB-C port that allows you to do stuff. Next to that, we have a USB-C port that will allow you to connect the element directly to your computer if you don't feel like using the Darkglass suite on your phone. pretty good. But I do want to talk about the decision to include a dedicated headphone amp with a cabinet simulator and why I think they work so well together. I think the answer is simply that it just sounds really good. There's something very inviting about the feeling of playing through huge, heavy equipment. And I think anything that makes you feel excited about playing is going to make you want to play more and is going to help you get better. It's fun to use the sliders. It's great to have Bluetooth capabilities. I have a special place in my heart for anything that cuts down on the amount of cables that I have to deal with on a daily basis. It's a lot more fun to practice when you get that sort of visceral sensation of playing through huge, heavy, and expensive hardware. When I hooked up the headphone amp of the Element for the first time, I actually had to take my cans off to make sure that I wasn't somehow coming through my monitor or an amp. It feels really alive. It feels very vibrant to play through. So since this is more of a software platform housed in a pedal-style enclosure, there are actually some pretty big plans for the future of the Element. Darkglass is talking about things like the ability to use the Element as an interface with your DAW using the USB-C connector, 6-band EQ, room for more impulse responses, the ability to blend your dry signal back in with the impulse response, and improve functionality of the touch sliders. And that is just about going to do it for our rundown of the Darkglass Element, a pretty amazing piece of gear that is just getting started. I've been Amos, you've been amazing, I will see you later. Hi, Ivy, hang on, baby. I'm working, my love.